Okay, today we're going to have a look at constructing scatter plots. A scatter plot is when you have two sets of variables and you plot them to see if there is a relationship between the two sets of variables. It's a good way of graphically representing information. So here is our example. We've got time worked in hours and weekly earnings in dollars. Now each of these represents a group of numbers, okay, a set of two variables, and we can plot them onto a graph. We treat them as an ordered pair. So just like we have X and Y like that, okay, in this case we're going to have H on the bottom axis and dollars on the Y axis. So let's take a look at the first one. We've got 4 and 23. So I'm going to go across to 4, which is here. I'm going to go up to 23 and I'm going to plot a point. Now I'm going to go to, I'll use a highlighter. I'm going to go to the next one, which is 847. So I'm going to go across to 8 and then, which is here, and then up to 47 and plot a point. Next one, 1593. So across to 15, which is in the middle of 14 and 16. Okay, up to 93, and then I'm going to plot a point. Keep on going, 18, 122, 5, 33, so go all the way down to 5, and that's going to be there. And then we've got 12, 74, so go to 12, go up to 74, and then 110, 16, 110. So go up to 16, up to 110, and plot my point. 1478, we're almost there. 14, up to 78, and there's my point. And then last one is 635. So there's 6, then I go up to 35, and there's my point. Okay, so you can see my scatter plot. I've got time worked in hours on the bottom, which was a nice scale that I created that would fit in the time that I had worked. It's a nice even scale, evenly spaced, same number, equal spacing going up. And I've got weekly earnings on this side. Same thing, equal spacing, nice scale that will fit all of my numbers. I've labeled the axis and I'll give it a title. And you can see that by plotting it like that, there is a relationship between the number of hours that you work and your weekly earnings. If we have a look at, if we could put a line of best fit on it, it would go through the middle of those points. And it looks like there is a positive relationship because the more hours you work, the more money you get. So we call that a positive when it's going up in that direction. Now I'll show you how to do it on the calculator. So here's my calculator. I've put each of those sets of numbers into the first two lists, and now I'm going to hit graph. Okay. Now before I go ahead and graph it, I'm going to try and have a look at the settings. So I'm going to hit set, which is F6. And I'm going to make sure it says scatter, and it's in list 1 and list 2. Okay, mine's all good, so I'm going to hit exit. And then I'm just going to hit graph 1, which is F1. And you can see that it graphs it for us. That is creating a scatter plot.